Hello and welcome to the Salt City Gamescast. My name's Nick. Now this is episode 163.
Hey, Nick.
Jared Olson across from me. Where it was it's timing, it's delivery. It was a gap that was gonna leave and then be like, and joining me.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jared Olson across from me. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm a little tired, even though I shouldn't be, because I slammed a fucking Red Bull on the way over here. Still a little tired, a little hungover. Played video games until the wee hours of the night, or morning, I guess. Drank a little too much, so yeah, we got this cocktail here that's really helping.
What do you think? What do you think? But this, I've been telling you about it. I'll just say I am a huge fan of it. It's a cognac cocktail, which I have really not dabbled with. But this came across, and I've changed the recipe a little bit. It was a little too sweet. But you're talking cognac, maraschino liqueur, Cointreau, a little bit of simple syrup, and lemon juice. So there's citrus in it as well. Where does it fall on your radar?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I like it. It kind of it's got like a vegetal aftertaste, which I don't hate in cocktails, generally speaking. But what it reminds me of is like when you get like a popsicle that's like melted, and you can taste like you're almost done with a popsicle and it's kind of melted, and you can taste like some of the ice cream on the popsicle, but then also the stick, the wood kind of like absorbs some of that flavor.
I know what you're talking about.
That's what it tastes like to me.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm here for it.
I'm into it. I'm into it quite a bit. I had to buy some cheaper cognac because I only had kind of more expensive shit. But
what, did you get the LeBron James
cognac? I never have it. I'll buy it on site.
Gotcha.
Well, one of these days, I keep checking that website we use to ship stuff to us to see if they ever have anything, and no one really does. Cognac's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a problem with like niche liquor at our liquor stores. It's pretty hilarious. Like,
shit.
I went to go buy a bottle of sake for cooking, not for drinking. And the selection of sake is pretty fucking underwhelming. Like as in one. There was one at the liquor store that's close to my house. Damn. I'm like, they had just had different sized bottles of the exact same kind, and it's also not from Japan. It's made in America. So it's like,
God damn it.
I think you're missing the point, Utah. So yes, and then like when we're talking about like liqueurs and things like that, it's pretty fucking hard.
It's the worst part about how I'm so into making cocktails because I follow quite a few different accounts that makes every day. Which how they fucking do that? Like that seems like it ruins the fun because every day they're posting a new thing, and it's like all well shot and shit. But I guess that's their job, whatever. But sometimes I'm like, hell yeah, this thing looks so good. And then like they rattle off some liqueur and I'm just like, no fucking way. Not even going to attempt to. There's just no way that thing is in our stores. Impossible.
Yeah, it's really a shame and stupid. I think it's stupid that I've got to go to a fucking liquor store to get sake for cooking as well. Like pretty silly shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, that's just the reality of our situation. I will say the newer, like fancier liquor stores, they're getting better. But the one that's over by my house is grim and very old, Powers District, very old, kind of scary. A lot of unsavory characters hanging about, So I guess it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't have the best selection. Sure. It's like an old school liquor store.
So where's your next one? There's that new one in Salt Lake. Is there another new one closer to you?
I don't know. I just am like, what's the closest one? And I've got one that's like 5-minute drive from my house. So that's the one I've been going to.
They're at least the new ones they all have refrigerators, which is nice. And they are getting an okay amount of beer. Like there's some variety there.
Sure.
It's not all Utah stuff. That's kind of nice. It's not anything incredible, but I still will find some new things occasionally that I want to try, and it's not too bad. I wish they would redo the wine store because that's like where I usually go often, and that one doesn't have much.
Yeah, that one's got a lot of wine.
It has a lot of wine. It has some expensive booze, but I never buy any of it because it's not anything. Usually, it's not anything special.
Yeah, I mean, and then like their whiskey selection is just mid.
Yep.
And their beers. I mean, that I don't think that place has coolers, does it?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so their beer is just stacked, and their beer selection is actually like the worst of all of them. It's not. It's just a lot of the local guys. That's, I mean, no offense to them, but like the Wasatch stuff, and I really don't like much that those guys make.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, Wasatch. Uinta and Wasatch are kind of weird because I think that they are the largest breweries in the state.
Well, because of all the mergers and everything.
Yeah, and they are some of the most mid beers you could possibly ever have.
Yeah, it is. They are not. All of them are just so not interesting. Like, and they'll do all the styles. They'll have their strong hazies, and it's like that's the most boring hazy out there. Checks the box.
You remember when people were like really into the Devastator from Squatters?
I think it was terrible since day one. The second I had it, I was like, "What are we doing?" But that was before these ABVs had exploded with these like double IPAs, and
Yeah.
so people were just like, "Yeah, this won't get you fucked up," and it's like, "But I'll be so sad. Like
Yeah.
I'll be so mad the entire time. It's a terrible beer."
I remember like when I was going to bars all the time in my early 20s, and people would just be like, "The Devastator's fucking the best," and it's just like, first of all, I'm broke as a joke. So I can't afford these fancy bottled beers that you guys are drinking. Give me a fucking PBR and we'll call it a day. But also I'm just like, this beer sucks. Like, it just sucks. Like, I don't know, drink whiskey, take shots if you want to get hammered. You know what I mean? You do it cheaper as well. So I don't know. We're in this like weird place where there are a couple of places here that are doing good things and are really trying to claw their way up and bring some sort of relevancy to our beer scene in Salt Lake City specifically, but it's a tough road to hoe.
For sure. I still gravitate towards the stronger beers, but also because I'm not a sit down and drink beer like for 2 hours. I don't like it. My stomach is usually over it. So I'm usually like, just give me like one or two that's just going to get the job done, and then I'll go have cocktails or something like that. I can't imagine like what we used to do where I would like just go and just drink 9, 12 of just these low point beers.
Giant
like,
steins of beer.
Nothing sounds worse. Yeah. And I was never on board with the stein. I always thought it was stupid. It's too heavy. It was just like, oh, you want to carry this thing around?
Well, you get the plastic ones and it's not as bad.
Yeah, that's not as, yeah.
The plastic stein that you used to get at Poplar, those were manageable. They were disgusting and really gross, but not as bad. I am a big fan of the stein. Big fan.
The beer gets warm unless you're really getting.
Yeah, that's true. The new house that I bought, the previous owners, like I think I mentioned on the podcast, they left the country and they left all their shit that I had to then get out of the house to then move my shit in, which was a whole fucking thing.
It's pretty funny.
But the old owner, he left in the garage, which I also had to clean out of all of their shit.
Steins.
Yeah, he left a bunch of Oktoberfest from Snowbird Steins.
Oh, cool.
Which, like, I'm pretty sure those are pretty expensive. But he left like 10 or 12 of them, and they're all in great condition. I washed them, and now I've got like a bunch of sets of Stein. So it worked out pretty good.
Save you money if you ever go to Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Probably save you $20.
Those
things are not cheap.
Yeah, he was fucking getting after it, like years and years of just like consistent going and buying a Stein.
I saved. We went this year and I had a good time. I got a small one. It's not even an Imperial pint, but it's I like it quite a bit. And I think I'm just gonna hold on to it. So then if we go back up next year, I can take it up there.
I've never been. I have never gone.
I mean, they have a ton of stuff for kids, and then obviously some people are just getting ripped. I don't remember if I told you. It was a pretty funny story. I got hit on a bunch while I was up there, like
by an actual woman.
Multiple.
Wow.
In a short, I too was surprised in a very short order. But here's why, and I'll tell you why. So you can take notes if you want. When I was up there with my family, I had to go back to the car to get something. I don't remember what. So I took the stroller. Checkbox number 1.
Yep.
Right. And because I don't even know how it happened, but my daughter had these bunny ears that she was wearing, and I had them on. So I had bunny ears on my head.
Mm-hmm.
It looked ridiculous.
Slight buzz.
And
going back to the stroller. Yeah,
and a stroller pushing it. And multiple women were just like, I love your ears. what are you up to? And they're like thinking, I guess, I'm a single dad. And I was just like, ah! like I haven't interacted that way in almost 20 years. I'm just like, abort.
Yeah. What do I do?
I don't even know what to say to you. It was very funny. I got back to my wife and I was just like, oh, that's a disaster. I can't go anywhere with a stroller anymore. That's trouble. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it's the stroller.
Yep.
And no like adult female around you, yep. Or it's the dog, a cute dog.
Yeah.
And you're alone.
Sure. Yeah, you're like, oh, I got this puppy, and I just wanted to come to the farmer's market because I'd like to get laid tonight.
I was looking for some cucumbers and something else.
It is. That's some funny shit. We haven't done this for a little bit. We took a week off for the holiday. Did you have a nice holiday?
Yeah, I did Korean Thanksgiving, so that was fun.
Uh-huh.
Made Korean stew and ate a shitload of Korean stew.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was, I had a pretty good time. Pretty mellow, nothing crazy. But it's always nice to get a few extra days off. And then like the Christmas is so quick. So now I'm just like, fuck yeah, get me there. Like 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. So we'll probably, this will probably be the last show before the Christmas special game of the year. And that's probably, and I think we're going to record that a couple days after Christmas. So right leading into Christmas, there'll be a 1 week break and then we'll get into that. And I gotta go play a few games, I don't know if I need to finish some stuff up, but just kind of make sure maybe I make a little more progress in some games I had to set back down because make sure I feel good about all that shit. And Game Awards are like a week away, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Not the awards so much, but there will be, I mean, there's always some announcements. There's going to be something that's probably announced that we're like, cool. So we'll see.
Yeah, and last year's was pretty good. You know, Intergalactic, I think, was a really good kind of finisher for the show. Seeing what Naughty Dog is up to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing releases. I'm looking forward to I'm not looking forward to listening to Jeff Keighley talk, but
there's some funny shit with Intergalactic.
Yeah.
Like, Colin, did you see what?
I saw that you posted something that Schreier was like critiquing someone's like
Colin Moriarty on his show was like, it's nearly done and it's gonna be 2026 basically. And immediately Schreier and Jeff Grubb were just like, no. And they publicly were just like, no, not happening. And then Moriarty walked it back, and that dude's kind of a tool. So I took a joy in seeing some people call him out. So.
He's still making content about video games. I thought he went like full on politics.
Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't take.
That guy's a dipshit.
He moved back to he moved to the Midwest, but he does he does a show.
Does he still have his stupid little hoop earring?
I do not follow or listen to this content. So
pretty sure he had a singular hoop earring, and I'm just like, pierce the other one. Like, what are we doing, man?
Some dudes you listen. Some people really like it, but I've always been like, this guy's not it.
I didn't mind him when he was non-political, but then as soon as he started kind of like showing some of his political leanings, I was like, ew, gross, ew, gross. Yep. No thanks. So, you know.
Yep. So we'll be maybe we'll be able to talk about some new games when we do that show. We usually record a pretty lengthy thing. I'm sure we'll get some last calls out of it, some shenanigans out of it. Should be a pretty fucking good time. And it'll be nice to get through the year and find out what we're going to play next year. I don't know.
Or in 5 years from now. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, 2026 is shaping up to be a pretty monumental year for video games. I mean, when you've got potentially GTA 6 coming out, unless they keep on kicking the can down the road. But I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Like, polish that motherfucker as much as you need to. Just keep on fucking delaying it, delay it. I mean, as long as it comes out and there isn't like significant bugs or issues with it, you know, I'm here for it. I think it's smart.
Yep. Should be fun. Not looking forward to playing it on a controller, but it's fine.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, but we've been playing some games and this might take a while because we've been playing one game an enormous amount. We have not. We play games together online, but we have not played.
It's been a while.
A game together online like this for some time. We're talking 11 out of the last 12 days. I mean, we're just nonstop every night. Going to my second job. Been playing Arc Raiders. This is Embark.
Yep.
The guys that made the finals. I'm not sure. They must have a couple studios over there. Sure seems like it. It seems unlikely that they made the finals and then, unless they're really fucking good, right? Like you'd have to have 2 studios to build that
I don't know. Danny O'Dwyer is doing a documentary for them right now, and it's episodic. So if you're interested in that, go and watch it. I watched the first episode. It's pretty good.
So if you've been listening to this show for a long time, you know, we have talked about Escape from Tarkov quite a bit. And I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about that because this is a Tarkov light. What do you want to call it? Like this is taking an enormous amount from Tarkov and making it a little easier, a little less a lot less complex. And maybe, I don't know if the word is like not quite as punishing or it just is more arcadey. It's easier it just feels easier and more approachable than a Tarkov.
Yes.
I think getting into a discussion about like which one's better is kind of hard because while they do similar things, they're kind of have different goals, or at least it feels like it. I don't know.
I would almost venture to say that this is better than Tarkov. But there are a few things. That's with an asterisk because there's a couple of things that drive me fucking crazy about this game.
So what this is, if you don't know what this style of game is, it's an extraction shooter. So you're going to go into a world. It's only multiplayer, and you can play it solo. And it's going to launch you into a world with other people that have decided to play solo. And there's also these robot enemies, a pretty good variety of them, I think, at least for out the gate. And it's PvPvE. So there are times where people will be friendly and you're killing these robots. You're opening some drawers. You're finding the loot. You're upgrading stuff back at your home. And you have to extract. You got to go find a bus or a bus. A bus would be fucking dope. A subway. I want a bus station where the bus pulls up and you got to get on. But
like a Fortnite
yeah,
bus.
absolutely. But you have to be able to extract, and if while you're extracting, people can hear that happen. So it's a nerve-wracking game. You don't know who to trust. You get betrayed. You get shot in the back a lot, and then you meet some pretty nice people, and it's an interesting dynamic, and it's one that I've been mixed on in the past with like losing, because you lose your loot. If you go in there, you lose everything if you don't get out. And I think I've kind of turned a corner where I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore. Let's just go play. And I think it's because this thing's pretty fun. Every time I get killed, I'm like, well, let's get back in there and let's go get some revenge and maybe betray some people or make some friends. It's doing a lot of things right. It's doing a lot of things that Tarkov's UI, I think it's fair to say, is not great to manage, especially with how complex it is.
Not great at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not. I think any game where you're hiding backpacks, I think that's a dumb mechanic. And like, if that's the way that the game's supposed to function, that's just weird. And you missed something along the way.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely point at some kind of weird idiosyncrasies with the whole system.
For sure.
But I think when you look at inventory management, specifically when you get good at it, because like, make no mistake, inventory management in Tarkov is a skill in itself.
Sure.
Just like PvPing is, understanding maps and things like that. It's a skill to be able to quickly kind of navigate your inventory when you're in raid, specifically tearing down weapons, things like that for valuable attachments, but you maybe don't want the gun, things like that. Yep. It takes some time to really wrap your mind around that. So it is like extraordinarily complex and really not for the faint of heart or really great for newcomers at all.
Where I think Arc Raiders is pretty good. You can wrap your head around it pretty easily.
Yeah.
And they haven't gone down the road of custom ammo types, and that's just makes it
Thank God for
easier,
that.
Right?
Thank God for that.
You just know, and like, am I opposed to them adding different type of medium ammo? Like like maybe?
No.
Not at all?
Fuck
just
no.
Don't even mess with it?
I hate that. That's the worst part about Tarkov.
All right.
It's like, especially I beat this dead horse over and over again on this show, but like, they're going for immersive sim and then you shoot someone in the head with a fucking AK-47, but you've got the wrong bullet, so they don't die. And it's like, that's not how this works. Okay. AK-47 is going to kill the fuck out of you. So I hate that about it. I really do not. That's my least favorite part about Tarkov.
That's fair. Instead of realistic guns, this is kind of an apocalypse. This is like a side story of the Matrix, kind of like you're kind of without like the jacking in. It's kind of like if they were just always going to the surface to fuck around. Immediately, that's what I thought of. But I think the UI is good and lends itself to be like, hey, get out there and get it. I've been having like so much fun playing it and having a reasonable amount of success. And then that was before we started playing. And then I was like, you playing this thing? And then as soon as we started playing, which we've had some ups and downs, but the initial, we actually did really well, if you remember. And I think it might have been loading into us we were low level or something.
Yeah.
Because those first few nights, we actually killed the shit out of people. We really were, and we were like, we're like so good at this game. And then that turned for a bit.
Yeah.
And we had some rough nights, and this consisted of essentially, at least in my mind, the evenings you'd play with Jared and lose all your shit out there where it's sweaty. And then by day you'd go back out solo and get all the stuff back to try to get your guns ready for the next night of getting our ass kicked.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Yep. And we've had nights where like literally no success. And so I've still been like, I've got to get back after it tomorrow. Luckily, I was worried we were going to come in here and be like, this is a fun game. We are just never winning. But last night, you and I had quite a bit of luck and had a lot of fun and killed some people. Had, one of us get out, the other person not get out, but you bring their guns. That's pretty fun. And then we killed some pretty big bosses. And that's where it gets pretty interesting in this game is there are some large bosses to try to take on while balancing this PvP element at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the golf adage where you can just play golf like shit for 18 holes. And you have that one great shot, shoot it close to the pin, and you're like, the whole round, you're like, fuck this. I'm terrible. I fucking suck at this game. Why do I do this to myself? It's expensive and I suck. And then you hit that one good shot and you're like, I'm coming back next weekend.
You had the one good shot and you're like, I'm about to turn this thing around.
Yeah.
Because that thing felt good.
It's the same kind of thing with this. Like the last raid we did last night, Nick and I were really trying and failing to go to this boss that's in this like big giant tunnel on one of the maps, and it's an extraordinarily threatening enemy that will fuck you up super, super quick. And you've
almost instant if you're out in the open. Like it's just over.
Yes. And you've got to really be smart about how you're going to approach it to kind of take it down. And then we got our good friend Dan showed up. I believe it was the first raid that he showed up for.
Yep, it was. We were like, bring your good shit.
And we went in and we executed a plan almost to perfection.
I think the reason this game is amazing is because of the dynamic encounters. And it's because you go in with an idea of the plan. The plan was Dan and I bring smokes in. You got this deadline mine. You throw the smokes, you run, and this like 5 or 6 legged huge thing. You're going to place this mine and you're going to get out. It never goes according to that. It always like falls apart real quick. And it did. And people were dying. People were getting revived. And then it swung back around and you managed to get the mine on without the smoke, which was actually an incredible feat.
I thought there was smoke. So was there not?
We were out. No, we were out. We were both out, but we were drawing aggro. So we were shooting him a ton and you got on him. Place this mine. Like you can do damage and you can kill him without it. I've done it with a group.
Breaking a lot of ammo.
But it takes a lot and you got to hit his weak spot. But this mine just absolutely obliterates him.
Kills him instantly.
And it was great. And we didn't get third partied, which was nice. And we got a lot of good shit out of there. And it's those moments that you're just like, oh, this is a good loop. There's something here. And the game's got plenty that we can, and we'll get into it, like things that they need to fix. But you're like, well, but this is like day one, right? Like if they can support this thing, they could really do some good things here where this thing It could have legs. It really could. Who knows? Multiplayer's hard. Sometimes these things don't get enough support, and in 3 months, people are like, "Well, they're nope, nothing, not enough new stuff." But it'll be interesting to see because I am absolutely hooked so far.
You know, it's really good. Like overall, I definitely have some criticisms of it. Some of which maybe are not, things you can tweak and are just like inherently a part of the experience for better or worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I genuinely agree with most of what you said. I think that the loop is here. I think that this is a fantastic foundation for, the future of this thing. And as long as it's supported, I think the sky's the limit for this. I don't want to go out on a limb and say that it is like, going to have Fortnite levels of success.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's crazy to think that it's a possibility if they support it in the right way. And I don't mean bringing Drake in or fucking Travis Scott or whatever, nothing like that. But as long as they are coming with, substantial content updates, new maps, new enemy types, new weapons, things like that, new gear. I don't see why this thing could not have long-term legs where there is, obviously an evolution to the formula as the game gets older and progresses. But yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. I think the sound design is like best of class, top fucking notch.
And sound is tough. Even when like Tarkov, I always felt like it was good at times, and then other times I was like, that didn't.
Well, they did a lot of work with, they did a lot of work with the sound, the spatial audio in that game. And it's better. The last time I played Tarkov, I was like, noticeably, because I've got like 200 plus hours into Tarkov.
Yeah. And I played originally close to like its initial. Well, when Mids got us into it, I put like 15 hours and then I came back multiple times.
Right. And I've like kind of went back to Tarkov over the years, like I'll have really long breaks and then I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
So they've improved it, but yeah, you're right. There were some issues with like sound design, but sound design here so far has been really, really nice. I think, again, I like definitely got to drive home the point. This game is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a really nice rig. I mean, it runs beautifully. There are very few bugs that I've encountered. There's like some environmental bugs. Your character can get stuck on shit, and that's kind of weird. But like game breaking glitching and things like that, there is some of that as well. But for the most part, you kind of have to be seeking that stuff out, which people are doing that to gain an advantage, which is unfortunate.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. And I also think one of the stronger elements for me is just level design. The level designs here are so good. There is six maps.
I like every map.
6 maps or 5 maps right now at launch.
I think there's
Blue Gate, Stellamontis, Spaceport, Dam, Buried City. There's 5 right now. And they're all just incredibly varied, and they offer up different kind of experiences depending on what you're wanting to do. Drastically different.
Like if you want the apartment style shootout in and out of buildings, like Buried City's there, and it kind of offers a lot of those rooms, those interior stairways.
It's the worst map.
I have a lot of fun on that map.
That map's gorgeous. I think it's like a sandstorm has basically buried a city. Hence the name. So I think aesthetically it's gorgeous. I think that it's not fun to play because there's just fucking rats hiding in houses all over the place. And the amount of times that I get shot blindsided and I don't know where it came from is high on that map. I mean, on every map that happens, but that map just gives you like a lot of opportunity to be a little ratty rat and fucking, hide in a corner and murk people that way.
You talked about the sound design, obviously as proximity chat, which is a lot of fun. We're all on push to talk, so it's not like they can hear us whenever we're talking to each other because we talk about everything while we play.
Unless we accidentally hold down the button, which I have absolutely done, and said, should we kill these guys? And they heard me.
It's nice that it echoes in my ears, so I can be like, "You are hot, Mike." But it is really fun because there's just these encounters. Like I third partied 2 people that were shooting each other, and I killed the one, And then the other dude ran up to him, and they'd had a misunderstanding apparently, and I could hear him talking. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I thought you shot at me." He's like, "It's okay, but I don't think you're the one that killed me." And then I was like, "Pop, pop, pop," and I killed him. And they were like, "Oh no!" And then they're both just on the ground talking to each other, and I can listen to them. And they're just like, "We got fucked," and then they're like, "There he is," and it's good shit. There's really entertaining encounters. There's people that are very funny. There's people that are terrible human beings as well. You're gonna get every range of it, but it adds a lot to this game. I enjoy it quite a bit. I like the yelling, like you'll just yell at people that were like, "Where you at, motherfuckers?" We're trying to find them, and that's just funny.
Yeah, it's good. I'll tell a little story. I told you this last night, but probably the funniest experience that I've had in this game. But yesterday I was running a solo, and I encountered like 3 people in this building, and everybody was like chill with one another. And usually, like, I will not just start shit unless somebody starts it with me. And I back away because I'm like, they are gonna loot this place, so I'm just gonna go my way. And as I'm walking out, one of the dudes threw a sticky grenade at me, but it missed and landed on the ground. So I immediately turned around and just mowed him down and killed him immediately. And I am standing over his body looting, and I just hear in the distance this guy running up this hill, and he's like, "Hello." And he's like, is there a problem up here? And I was like, I mean, there was. This guy threw a grenade at me and murdered me. And he's like, "Yeah, I saw a flare and I came up to help because I'm a medic." And I scour the battlefield and make sure that everybody's topped up. He's like, "Do you need heals?" And I was like, "No, man." And I was like, this guy is role playing right now, and this is very weird. And
it's so funny.
He's just like, "Oh, let me check him out and see if there's anything I can do." And I was like, "There's nothing you can do. He is dead as fuck, man. I killed the shit out of him, as you can see, and I looted his body." And then he was like, "Oh, you sure you don't need heals?" And I was like, "Nah, man. Well, see you later." And then just kept on running. But like you said, it runs the gamut in terms of kind of the experiences that you're going to have. We should note this isn't the first time that this kind of system has been implemented. It's been implemented plenty of times in different games.
Well, we've talked about original Division. It's not that far. Like, this is quite a bit better than that. But like when you and I got super into Division 1 before we did this podcast, well, it's a lot of the same feeling. A lot of this, "I don't trust this guy." That was a little different because you would be marked as hostile, and I actually don't hate that mechanic either. I kind of like the idea of marking someone as a traitor in the whole map. But there's a reason that people make these games, and the content creates itself.
Right.
Like those unique interactions, you can't write that up. Every time you load in, something absolutely crazy happens. I was playing up here before you came out. I did a free loadout on Buried, and I walked up, and there was a full destroyed bombardier. Mm-hmm. There's two. They look the same, right? The Bastion.
Yeah, the Bastion and the Bombardier. Bombardier shoots the missiles in the air. So the Bastion's got the rail gun.
Completely destroyed, unloaded. And I was like, "The fuck is this?"
Was it a trap?
Nope. I walked up, got all these cells, and immediately left, and was like, "What happened?"
Wow.
But I kind of knew because there was a Bastion nearby. I don't know why they were too close, because there was a Bastion that was only 100 yards off. So I don't know if he killed people, but yeah, I got all this shit and I put in no work. Just grabbed it and was like, "Well, that was cool."
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the emergent gameplay here is top notch, man. Really a lot of fun. The one downside that I will say is because this has cast such a wide net and has grabbed people that probably have never played an extraction shooter to any significant level. This is kind of like the everyman's extraction shooter to a certain extent. So you've gotten a lot of people. So you're getting more, I don't know, gamers that play more than one game a year.
Yep.
But this has transcended into that territory where there's plenty of people that are like the Call of Duty bros that are playing one game a year, 2 games a year, which is statistically like 60% of all gamers, which is crazy. Sure. So you run into some, I'm not saying all of those people are shitheads, but there's a lot of them. They're absolute shitheads. So I've definitely ran into some pretty egregious, gross speech as well, where it's like, "Oh God, whoa, oh my God."
Yeah, you'll be exposed to it all. I have been on the just kind of monitoring the subreddit close because I was interested, and this plays into what you said, that this is attracting a lot of people that maybe don't understand what this is.
Sure.
Because there are so many posts of people like, I think that if we want to take down one of these bosses, like this Bastion we just talked about, it should be a PvE only map because this is ridiculous. I'm getting third partied and I'm taking good shit in. I'm getting killed. And, that's what makes the game. Like, and that's what, like, I don't think people realize, and maybe those people would be perfectly fine, but I don't think that's not what gives the game legs. If you do that, then it's predictable. You take in your shit, you're going to kill. We can figure out how to kill those bosses. What makes it so fun and hard is that you have to look over your shoulder the whole time because people will come take advantage of you because they know you brought in good shit. Mm-hmm. The whole game is this triangle. This is just the Fire Emblem triangle. Like, it's just like fucking, it's an incredible dynamic, but I've been blown away by how many posts, and there's a lot of pushback too of people just like, this just isn't for you. You just don't, like, a lot of people are saying, go play Hell
Let Loose?
No. The
Helldivers.
That's the one. They're like, they're like, literally the game you want exists. Go play Helldivers. It's right there.
That's true. I guess there's loot in that game. That game's great. Yeah, I think it's a pretty, if you want my personal opinion on it, I think it's like I understand it. I totally understand it because this game tilts me in ways that very few games tilt me. Like, I get fucking mad when we go in and we just die immediately, or we have a really good run and at the very end we die, something happens, we die, and I get tilted. I mean, I get really pissed off, probably because I've invested a lot of time in the game.
And we don't have a lot of matches where we die within 3 minutes. Usually we have done some shit.
Yes.
And then we get into a fight and it's like, fuck.
Yes, I
had stuff.
So I understand people's frustration to a certain extent. But I think that this kind of discourse in the community is pretty unfounded on the side of people being like, there shouldn't be PvP. There shouldn't be the possibility of me getting shot in the back while I'm trying to do this like incredibly hard encounter with like one of the bots in an environment. Because if you remove the PvP element from this game, I do not think that it is nearly as compelling as it is right now.
The enemies are good in this game. They're not that good. They're not good enough to stand up on their own.
Right. And I think that if like Embark kind of, gave in and gave people like a PvE only server, I think that people would get pretty bored unless they did it the way Tarkov's done it, because Tarkov now has PvE only, and they enter in like AI controlled PMCs and things like that. So yes, and Tarkov's, because there's an incredibly fast time to kill in that game. Like scavs, even if you're not paying attention, they'll fuck you up. So it works from that perspective for that game. But unless Embark adds that, so there are like AI controlled raiders that come in, it just wouldn't be nearly as compelling. So like, be careful what you wish for is what I'm saying. And like,
I think it'd make the game worse. I really do. Or it maybe be better for some people, but not enough. I think it would hurt the game's longevity here.
I think that if they're going to do it, which is fine. Like I because this is, I wouldn't even say this is like a vocal minority of people. There is, because this game has done exceedingly well. Like, I mean, and it has. It's broken records. It's done incredibly well on Steam and on console as well. A lot of people are playing this fucking thing. If they did do something like that, it would have to be, and Tarkov does the same thing. It's completely separate, right? You've got a PvE character.
It can't,
all the loot, you cannot interchange. And like, fine, that's okay if they want to add that, because making your customers happy in whatever way that you figure out how to make them happy, I think is a net positive for a business like this, because make no mistake, it's a fucking business. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I'm not that aggressive with it where I'd be like, this is just not for you. I just think that, like, if you are going to play the game, you absolutely need to kind of accept some parameters as the game is right now. And if you can't, then maybe it isn't.
But well, I was going to say, but it is not for you for some people.
Yeah.
Like, when this thing gets this popular and attracts X amount of people, it is not for you for some, because
Sure.
you're just never going to fundamentally like the dynamic and the way the game plays. And so it's not like, well, let's change it. It's like, no, like you have the other stuff that you can go play. I think what they really need to do though is, that doesn't mean there aren't tweaks that can help some of the negative situations here. And that's that you can do a free loadout where you are bringing in none of your own shit, and you're going to come in with a shield. You're going to come in with a random gun, and you can come in with a random gun that, while it won't be leveled up, is an effective gun to murder people with. And I think that there's things that they could do to this free loadout to make it worse. And I think they should maybe look at that to see how to maybe make the free loadout a little harder, and or something, or limit the type of guns. Like I've brought up, like the Stitcher is a PvP monster kind of, and
it's like the best gun in the game,
and you
at close range.
And you could literally not have that show up in free loadouts.
Sure.
And drastically change what is happening with free loadouts right now, because people just wouldn't have the ability to do what they can right now. You load in with the Stitcher and you can go kill anybody regardless of their loadout. If you get the jump on them and load that into their back, it's over. And that's where people are complaining, because then it's just free loadouts coming in and wrecking them. And like Tarkov, I remember when I would do scav runs, and that's essentially the free loadout that they would do. Sometimes it's laughable to take on like a PMC, because you would have such a terrible gun. You're just like, I'm never going to get it done.
Well, to play devil's advocate to that kind of argument, it exists in Tarkov in the same way that it exists in this game.
Scavs killing you.
Scavs can kill you. And it really boils down to, you watch some of the best Tarkov streamers, some of the best players, Pestily, people like that are just so fucking good at the game. They can go in with a scav run and absolutely murder a PMC.
But that's not a good comparison, though. Like those aren't normal people.
No, I'm not saying that they are, but I'm just saying that it's possible to do it, right? And so
I think it's a lot harder than what free loadout is. I think free loadout puts you in a better spot than most scav runs do.
Maybe. I don't really know much of a distinction there. Like, I mean, you're not getting in Arc Raiders, you're not getting like level 4 Stitcher. You're getting a level 1 Stitcher with no attachments and oftentimes very little ammo. That's one thing that I would say. I have done free loadouts where
you run out of ammo.
Well, no, I was going to say I have like a surplus of ammo sometimes. Oh, really? Yeah. Like last night I was running free loadouts on Stella Montes with Dan after you got off. And I got a Stitcher with like 130 rounds. And so it's like in that scenario, it's like...
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good amount.
Yeah, it's like maybe tone it down from that perspective. I just don't think it's... I am not concerned with the free loadouts being that big of a deal, because like ultimately at the end of the day, it's skill. I've been watching like a very, very good, I can't even remember the name of him, but he's a very, very high level PvP player in this game. And I've been watching him because he does really good videos where he just like kind of pauses his plays and he'll like talk through what he's thinking as like things are unfolding in real time. And it's really helped me kind of like seeing what this guy's doing, because he has like an extraordinarily high level of skill, and he does rags to riches. So he'll go in with a free loadout on Stella Montes and just murder everyone because he's really good. And then just through that process, just kit up, and then by the end have everyone's good shit that's in the raid, which is really cool to see. And I don't. There's something to that. I don't want to be as like basic as saying like, just get good, motherfucker. But like, I am not that angry about free loadouts. The only thing that I would say that maybe you should tweak with the free loadouts is time in raid. I don't think that you should get a fresh raid as a free loadout player. I think that the game should put you in at like 18 to 15 minutes, which gives you plenty of time to go in and loot if that's your goal, or to go and find some people to kill. But putting someone in there fresh, maybe would be my only criticism. But like ultimately, I don't have a lot of criticism of like the free loadout thing. I just don't think it's that big of an issue.
I think that's a good idea because then it's harder to loot with a free loadout. Like you've got to go through some buildings that potentially have already been hit.
And that's my point.
Because you didn't risk anything, that the bar of what you can get out of there has just been lowered. And that, I think that would make sense. I think there's just a lot of ways to maybe do some tweaks here to help some of that. Like I'm not over here mad about dying to free loadouts. So I just am watching that some people are really mad about dying to free loadouts.
Yeah. Another thing that people have been really vocal about is teaming up in raid. Like if you run solos, there are, emergent gameplay situations where you'll meet a friendly person and you'll decide to team up with them. And people are very mad about that.
We should note that the crime rate in this game is changing by the day. The percentage, like
certainly evolving.
Because when I first started solo, it was pretty friendly. Not a lot of just getting murdered or betrayed.
I would say overwhelmingly so.
And yeah, I remember you even sent me a message. You're just like, I just feel bad shooting these people because they're just so nice. And that is has changed an enormous amount just in 7 days, where it is quickly becoming, don't trust anybody. I literally saved a dude that was being chased by a robot, blew up the robot, and he just walked up to me and just murdered me. And I was like, fair. I shot the wrong thing. I should have shot you. Mm-hmm. And then you would have stopped and that robot would have blown you up behind you. And that's, I guess, what I should have done. But I was trying to do a good deed over here.
Yeah. It's kind of like a smaller look into like our overall society, you know,
for sure.
Because you have so many people playing concurrently at any given time. There's crossplay on this as well. So, you're playing with console players, PC players, all that. You can turn it off. I haven't done that yet.
I heard that it's a lot friendlier once you turn it off because the people that are turning the crossplay off are the people that want to be friendlier in solos. So
sure,
I heard that it was better. If that's what you want.
I just don't think that there is really any tweaking or needs for change. Like naturally, as people get better at the game, they progress, they get more skills on their character because there is a robust skill tree in this game, which is interesting in comparison to Tarkov. It's very different the way Tarkov works. And that might be a downfall for the game long term because it's just a very basic. I mean, it's a robust skill tree, but the parameters for getting your skills up is just leveling up. Yep. Where Tarkov does not work that way at all. You've got to do specific things to. You got to run X amount on foot or sprint to get certain things up.
It works that way on 10 unique different ways, right?
Yes.
If you want to be able to have more stamina, then go use stamina.
Exactly.
And you're going to level up that one thing.
Right. Where this is just more kind of basic in the way that it's executed. Yeah. And there are some tangible, significant benefits in the skill tree that are just going to be game changers in terms of like your movement or your looting ability, all of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I just think that there really isn't a lot of changes you need to make to this in relation to the interactions and the way that the game functions at its core. Sure. And that's my thing. I think like bigger picture, there are a lot of changes that need to be made. Sure. And certain changes certain ideas that I just don't like fundamentally. But like all of this stuff, like I'm like kind of like wallflower outside looking in on a lot of these people in Discord or whatever, or on Reddit and things like that. And I'm just like,
I think a lot of it's rage.
This is just fucking stupid arguments that are dumb.
But like, a lot of it's rage. It's like where you say you get so tilted, like when you die. The difference is that like you just don't go run to Reddit, and some people do. Some people get so mad they're just like they run online and they're like, change the game so I never get this mad again. Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know. I think it's why you're here. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but
I just sit there in Discord and talk to you for 10 minutes about how we could have won the fight that we just lost. That's what I do.
It's a lot of fun doing that, and it's a lot of fun thinking about the encounters that we've had and being like, well, where did we fuck up? Like on ones where we did not have the upper hand, and it's like that was a poor engagement choice. Or on ones where we did have the upper hand and then we fucked it up. It's super interesting. It's a lot of fun to think about. All right, how do we get better? What should we do? What did I do wrong? I was too cowardly or whatever, I love it. I'm having a great time with it. But let's do this. Tell me, what do you want them to fix? And let's see how many I like, what I agree with, what I disagree with. Let's see, what do they got to do? What do they?
So a couple of things that I think we'll go down the list of things that I think are most pressing that they need to fix. The biggest one for me is weapons in this game. I've done a lot of testing. I will say there's a practice range in this game. It's very robust. You can pretty much test out anything and kind of figure out what works and doesn't work. There are 3 different types of shield in this game, varying, like in theory, is supposed to protect more damage as you're playing, and you can test all that out. There's like dummies that have light shields, medium shields, heavy shields. There's bots flying around in the practice range as well that you can test at different ranges.
It's also important because you will get a legendary gun or something that you've never used. So you don't have to just take it blind into a raid. You can go into the testing thing and actually fuck around.
I was very concerned about ammo usage because I was like, they're not going to make me use my you get there's like a case on the ground, and it's got all of the base weapons, but then you can bring in like your kitted out weapons with all your attachments and try them out. So it's nice. But yeah, I think the biggest issue that I have with the game right now, and this is a huge one that they need to fix, is the higher rarity weapons pretty much across the board are worse than lower rarity weapons. And this has been proofed out by people that are much smarter than probably both of us are, with like very granular testing that has figured out like time to kills for every weapon at different skill levels of aim and also on the different shields. And heads and tails, the ones that are most dominant are your starting or very close to the start weapons, and the weapons that are extraordinarily expensive to craft, hard to find the blueprints to craft them, are not better.
It's crazy.
And so that is a huge fucking problem for the overall health of and longevity of the game.
You get a purple gun in a raid, you want to be excited, and right now you got a lot of question marks. Now there's some exceptions. The hole cracker's really good against the robots, and that's still good, so that's fine. But there's so many of these other ones like a bobcat where you're just like, it's not the meta, and they got to figure out how to make it be part of it. Like it has to have a use. All these guns that you get that I'm just sitting on, and I'm not bringing them out like hoping that they buff these things, because why am I going to take them to a raid when the Stitcher's better? They got to fix it. I would think that they should know, unless this is somehow a strategy, but it's not a strategy for a loot game. That's not how it works. The fucking, there was the Midas in Division, right? I think it was the Midas that everyone was using. The Vector. And everyone could, you knew the sound of it, and it was a hard gun. I never got it. You had it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is what you're trying to find. And you have to have that loop. Those guns have to be powerful. You can make them very hard to craft. So you make it so that every raid is not just full of them, right? You have to do that, or else people are going to just get mowed down. But they got to hit, they got to be powerful, and they can still have like disadvantages, but they've got to be better than the Stitcher.
They have to have tangible benefits that outweigh the positives of the lower end weapons. And right now that is not the thing. When we first started playing, we were playing with one of the Discord members, and I just commented we were playing, and I was just like, I'm very confused because I'm watching like level 75 streamers that are really good at the game, and they're all running like Stitchers and Pharaohs and Anvils.
Pharaohs is a one-shot rifle that hits really fucking hard.
Right. And I'm like, why don't they have like yellows and purple weapons? Like, why are they all using these? And at the time we were like, I don't know. I think the guy we were playing with was like, yeah, I mean, streamers are weird though. They don't really like apply. But the answer is that those lower tier weapons are just objectively better. And so that will kill the game. So that's number one, tippy top, for me to fix. The second one, which has not really been a huge issue for me personally, but because I'm so kind of obsessed with this game, I've been watching a lot of people.
Spawn.
The spawns are really bad in this game, and Summit.
It's not that they're bad; it's that there's not enough of them. That there are not enough dynamic spawns.
No, it is that the frequency in which people are spawning in the same place is a problem.
Well, it's not enough of them.
Well,
because if there were more, you wouldn't be able to safely spawn camp, which is what's happening.
But what I'm saying is that there are more than one spawn entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in certain maps, those spawns are not being utilized, and the same spawn is being used over and over and over again. And yeah, so like spreading out more spawns would fix it. But I think like if you don't want to go that direction, you just have to spread out the player distribution at spawns. But yeah, so like I was saying, Summit 1G he's put like hundreds of hours into the game. And he was just like talking mad shit, which was kind of hilarious because like most of his chat was like angry because people love this thing.
Having a great time.
And he's like, this dog shit and this thing's going to die. And he was like, let me show you. He went on Stella Montes and just sat at one spawn point and like 8 or 9 dudes would just spawn, and he just sat there, and he's very good as well, and just killed all of them. And he's just like, this is what you guys think is great? Like, look at this. Like, look how many people are just getting murdered. And like, especially with someone that much pull, like he is going to direct, like all of the shittiest people in the community are going to do exactly what he's doing. So that's a huge problem. That needs,
I think that'll be fixed. I
has to be.
And I haven't experienced spawn camping, but I've experienced spawning in. I don't remember if it was a fresh raid or a little. I ran forward 100 feet and I needed to look at my phone I was trying to do a quest, and maybe it took me a minute or two. And then another person spawned in my same spot and just came up and just killed, like just shot me in the back and killed me, right? And it's pretty frequent, right? It's too close. You shouldn't have, if you spawn somewhere, if someone else is going to spawn that spot, it should probably be 10 minutes, which means you probably need enough spawns to facilitate that.
Sure.
So that I think I was telling you, I was like, well, like, no one's patient. All you have to do is make someone that's camping spawns bored and they're going to move on. It can't be a 2-minute wait. It's got to be longer. And once it's longer, then the reward's just not enough. You want to kill a freshie that comes in after waiting 11 minutes? Okay. Like, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I also think that one thing that I would change on the reverse of that is extracting. Like Tarkov's extract system, I think is very unique, where depending on where you spawn on the map and what time you spawn on the map, you're going to have unique extracts. So there are always going to be extracts and they don't change, obviously. But depending on when you get into a raid, some extracts you cannot extract from.
Sure.
And so you have your specific extracts. So that fundamentally funnels players into specific spots where this is just as long, there's a timer that kind of ticks down as the game progresses.
Sure.
And some extracts go down and then they are no longer an option. But if you get into a fresh raid, literally every extract is available to you to extract from. And I don't love that as much because I think it funnels people into specific places on the map, which one of the big problems that I have is like if you're running duos or you're running 3 people, which is the maximum that you can in a given party, everyone is going to just go to an extract because it's up. And I think that that's a problem. And that incentivizes like...
What do you mean everyone is going to go to an extract?
Well, if you get later into a raid, all the extracts are closed, right?
Yeah,
so,
but that's by design though, right? Like
it's by design. I just don't I would rather it be you spawn in, these are the extracts that are available to you. These extracts are not available to you, right? Like you can't get out from these extracts. These are the ones you can go to, right? And the game could easily figure out a way, like, this is your party, these are your extracts.
I mean, I like that they do that.
I don't,
that dynamic is forcing you to go interact with people you don't know if they're going to be friendly. At the end, yeah, there's just like the one, most likely, besides the raider hatches.
I just think it spreads out more players in different places. And the problem that I have when you're running 3 people, or even 2 sometimes, is that you get into a fight with someone and you kill that team, right? And then it's like 6 other teams are there, right? Especially if you're close to an extract. And that sucks because it's like, I want to feel good. I'm not the best player in the world. I just took out this team. You know what I mean? And there have been times where it's like, we killed 2 teams, right? And it's like 2 whole teams are dead. We just won.
Yep.
And then it's like, here's 5 more teams that are coming in to like, and
never 5, but yes. Like,
a lot, more than 1. or 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh my God, dude, like unless you're fucking Shroud and we're just going to take them all out.
You know, it's just too much. We're not that good. Like we win a team fight and we're like, fuck yeah. And then you manage to like get another one from another team and you're like, well, we are really good. And then you see a third party again and you're like, holy fuck.
Exactly. And there is no reason for that because these maps are huge. They're large. They're massive. But because every extract is open to everyone, you know what I mean? And certain bots only spawn in certain places. So like if you're trying to extract, there might be an extract right by this big bot that you just took out, right? And so naturally you're going to go to that spawn. But everybody else is in that same area.
I don't think that's even true though.
It totally is true.
I don't think it's true. I don't think that we are getting third party because of the extracts. I think we're getting third party because of the loot areas we're going to and where we're having these fights. We're having these fights. These people are going to that. We're all going to the same areas to loot.
Yeah, but I'm saying, in my opinion, the extracts are funneling people into one area. And what I would like to see is a little bit more space between teams. I'm not saying like we just get out every time and there's no, friction. But if you have, unique exfil areas, you're not going to run into as many people as you would. Because like, for instance, there might be 2 extracts up, we're later in a raid. There's 2 up, right? We're
never going 900 meters. We're going 150.
Exactly. And that's funneling players in because no one's going to do that. They have dynamic exfils that does away with that. And I think it makes it a little bit more satisfying. Yeah. So I would like to see that change. I think the shields in this game are terrible.
They don't make any sense. It might as well be just one shield for all at this moment. The
shield is not a shield. It deflects some damage, but you take
not all.
So you have a shield and then you have health. But if you take damage from a bot or from a player, you still take damage to your health if you have a full shield.
It's very weird.
Doesn't make any sense. Like just like the way it should be is you got a shield, the shield goes down, and then you start taking damage. I don't like that. And it also like in the like minute to minute action when you're in like a fight with a team, like I've got to worry about my shield and my health. Where if it was the other way around, like most games are, it's like, my shield is cracked, but my health is up. I don't have to worry about my health. It's just refill my shield.
It's very weird. I've played an enormous amount of Apex and that's what you're expecting. Oh, colored shields. I know exactly how this works. Right. No, you fucking don't. Right. And they're not, that's not even my biggest complaint, which I agree with what you're saying that you take damage doesn't make any sense. My issue is that there's just not a big enough difference between them. And right now I put on a light or a medium and in game, I don't feel it. I don't feel, oh wow.
Even if you run
it's so much better.
Purple.
I've never put a heavy on yet. I think I have one. I've never used one, but I'm just like, I want a bigger difference. And I don't care what you have to do. Make it harder to make them, whatever. So you don't want everyone to have these purples, make them really difficult to get, whatever. But like, if I decide to kit up, you want to feel like you kit it up and you don't right now. Right now, it's just shield and a shield's a shield. Mm-hmm. And that's just it. So it just doesn't, shields they're not quite right. And this is something that's absolutely something that can be fixed if they agree that they're not right.
They're not quite right. I think they suck. Like, I just think like they don't feel good. And this kind of goes back to the weapons. They're real
quick. What if light shield doesn't block all damage? Medium shield blocks 90% of damage. And then a purple, you're not going to take any damage. There's ways to mitigate that and have different tiers where you're like, okay, that makes sense. The shitty shield doesn't block all damage.
Well, again, same kind of issue that the weapons have in this game, the shields have as well, where it's like there is really no reason to run a purple shield in this game because it weighs you down, so you are slower when you have it on. And the damage mitigation is not like heads and tails. Like you can still go into a fight and lose to like a level 1 Stitcher. And you're going to die really quickly. If they're close up to you, like you're not going to be able to tank that damage and get away and maybe reposition. Like if you get blindsided from behind and they've just full auto you in the back, you're going to die very quickly. And like Tarkov doesn't like, there are weird things with Tarkov where it's like, it's all about like bullet placement and where the bullet hits you, right? And some of that can be random. So like if you don't have a face shield on your helmet and somebody with like shitty ammo shoots you directly in the face, it's going to do way more damage than it would if it hit like your armor. But that's how they kind of balance it out in that game, where it's like, I've got really good armor and it's extraordinarily expensive. And you come in with your pitiless ammo and like you could kill me, but it's going to take a lot of shots into me to kill me. And that's usually the great equalizer in that game, where it's like, I'm getting shot. I can reposition because I've got this good armor on and then kill this motherfucker.
But that's a way to help with these people mad at free loadouts. Like if you're suddenly have a better shield, the free loadout guy's he's got to be on his game if he's going to take you down. And hopefully they'll fix it. I always really enjoyed we'll go back to Apex. Like you shoot someone and you're like, fuck, he's got gold armor, guys. Like this is going to be a problem. Or you go into it with gold armor and you're feeling saucy. You're feeling really confident.
You're feeling saucy.
You just don't get that with any of this. You do not get that confidence.
Nope. And there's just no reason. No one. The guy that I've been watching, he's just like, you never run purple. Like max, you run blue shield. That's it.
They just got to figure out a way to give you a reason to run different shields.
The shields don't have like a lot of mechanics where augments that you're bringing in for your kit. Those are way more consequential than the shield is. And I think that there should be a little bit more nuance with the shields, a little bit more complexity with the shields as well. Because there's a lot of different mechanics that are directly correlated to the augments that change things up pretty significantly. And so it isn't quite there yet. I think it's just as simple as like most video games, where if you got a shield on, the shield goes down, you don't take any health damage until the shield's down. Seems pretty simple.
All this stuff that we're saying, that the good thing about a lot of these criticisms is it's like, these are fixable. If they agree and recognize these, like a lot of these things are absolutely, you can fix them and get this thing into a better place for a game that we've played every night for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's a lot here. And the idea of them improving upon this in a few ways is like, it's really compelling, really, really compelling.
The last one I have that is a criticism, and this is just like my personal take, and like there's no way. So the reticle is weird in this game. There are like robust options to kind of change it to your preference. The reticle, I think that it's like, we switched to circles because I just think it's better than the default reticles in the game. The reticle, so that you have like a large circle and then you've got a smaller circle, right? So it's just your target basically. And as you ADS, aim down sight, that reticle is going to get smaller and smaller, which is like basically like you're going to be more precise, right? Sometimes the circle in the middle of the big circle moves around in weird ways. And I haven't figured out, like at first I thought it was like indicating that I was blocked by some sort of object that was going to prevent me from like shooting where I'm aiming.
That's what I still think it is, but
it's not. I've tested it out. There's something going on with that circle. It like bounces around in weird ways. And sometimes like you have a free shot, but then you don't have your center circle, which I'm relying on to like line up my shot. So that's a huge problem.
I don't know where this bullet's going.
And I still don't know why it does that. And then secondarily, and probably more importantly, just through like my personal testing, the ballistics on these guns are fucking super unpredictable. I sat in the practice range with an anvil, kitted out anvil, and am crouched, which is going to give you the most accurate shots, not far away from the target, right on the head, and shoot and hit, and then a bullet will just fly off to the left or right. And you're like, why is that happening? Like, especially in like a high, I can get it if it's like an automatic weapon where you're just like unloading. Some bullets are going to like go off.
Dispersion.
Yes, exactly. But with the anvil, which is a revolver that's incredibly accurate, should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why, or the Pharaoh does the same thing, or the kettle, which is another accurate gun, where you're just like shooting and then bullets just randomly are just like off to the right, off to the left. And it's just like, I'm right on this guy's head. I'm not far away. Why is this bullet not hitting 100% of the time?
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So like, I don't understand why that's the way it is. Like these guns also look like they were built out of like a toaster and a microwave.
I
like,
appreciate that aspect, that this is like apocalypse guns and it's just like a dude bringing in a fucking pipe.
Yeah.
And like some of the mods make them look even more hilarious.
right.
They're like when you put your silencer on your pistol, it legit is like 1990 Batman, where Jack Nicklaus has that huge pistol to shoot down like the Batman's plane.
Yeah.
Every time I see you running with it, I'm just like, that's the gun.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's super cool. But like
Sure.
in a super sweaty PvP game, like my aim is already like average at best. So like I want it to go where I want it to go. And like, if quite literally, because the time to kill is maybe not as fast as Tarkov, but it's still fairly quick in this game. Like having one of those shots just fly off to the left or right for no fucking reason is a problem.
Absolutely.
Is a fucking problem.
Absolutely. That's all good stuff. I think it's gonna be interesting to see where this game goes, how it grows. They with Tarkov, there was always a wipe that they would not announce. It would be like, wipe's coming soon, and then just randomly everyone's character gets set back to 0. You gotta go redo everything. And I mean, it's a good way to just push reset, right? Everyone loses their gear. You hear about like a Tarkov fresh wipe, and you maybe have a chance to go out there and have a little bit more fun than when it's deep into it. The way this one's working is kind of interesting. It's called an expedition, and you unlock it at like level 20, and then you have to contribute a very significant amount of resources to your expedition, where you're just retiring your character. You're sending him out to the beach, basically. And if you complete it, you can't do it at any moment. There's a 7-day window that you can do a wipe, and that's coming up, and I'm never going to make it. I'm not going to make it for December, but it carries over for the next one. So that's smart. But I'm really interested to see how the community likes this, because it's kind of interesting, because it's a choice. You can choose to never wipe and just keep all your good shit. So that's interesting. And then if you do wipe, you get some things, not an enormous amount. And they've been pretty open. They're like, listen, we don't want people that wipe to have a huge advantage. But they came out, I think it was today or yesterday, for every $1 million of shit in your stash, you're going to get 1 extra skill point, up to 5. So you have 5 million.
She gives you like a nice little boost at the start.
Yeah, a little boost. And I don't have an issue with that. 5 skill points is not a game breaker here, but it is like, if you're going to play this game, you do want to wipe because you want those extra points.
Yeah, there are skills that are like borderline a necessity to have. So the fact that you can immediately just beeline and get those skills right out of the gate or get close to them.
5. I mean, it's just going to give you, and then if you hit max level, you're going to be 5 levels above everyone else. And then you will get 12 extra storage in your stash, which is not, I mean, that is what it is. I don't see that really as a game breaker or really a huge difference.
20 wipes down the road, though. That's an enormous amount of space.
I don't think it stacks.
Oh, so it just...
I don't think it stacks.
Gotcha.
If it stacks, that would be totally... Yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these stack. If that was the case, that's drastically different. And then there's some skins, but everything else is gone. And then we've been throwing around some ways to game the system. Like if I give you some blueprints,
there's no way it works. Like if you give me the blueprint right before and then you wipe immediately, I think that would be a huge oversight on that.
You would have to not wipe though, because I did read everyone wipes at the same time. You decide to wipe, and then everyone's going to wipe at the end of the wipe period.
Right.
So it would literally have to be the next wipe, because I'm assuming you're not going to be ready to wipe either.
No.
One of us would have to be like, I'm not going to wipe, and I'm just going to hold all your blueprints and then hand them back to you, which is probably unlikely.
Yeah. That's something that we didn't really talk about, but so you've got workbenches just like Tarkov that you're leveling up. There are 3 tiers to every single workbench, which is pretty satisfying. It gives you like something to grind for. And a lot of the level 3 requirements are pretty sizable. You got to go out and kill a lot of the toughest enemies in the game to get those mats to get them up to level 3, which I like.
Almost all of them. I was a little disappointed that there's not like a queen or matriarch requirement for something else. They should probably have some sort of.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet, which is going to be fun when we get there.
There needs to be a carrot on the stick of something that I can unlock by killing those things.
Sure. Well, there is lots of the cores that she gives you.
You could make shit.
Yeah, really, really valuable, and they also can make like pretty much anything you want with them. Yeah, I like that. But the blueprint system I also like in this game, where you're looting through drawers and chests and shit all over the place, or off of your enemies' dead bodies, and you get blueprints for. I believe there's 75 blueprints in the game right now, and once you get the blueprint, you learn and consume it, which is pretty funny. That's the verbiage: learn and consume.
It's amazing though, like you might not get one that you're looking for. Like I got the anvil early. Yeah. And the anvil's a great blueprint. Like you want to get that early.
I got a fucking anvil from a random team that we ran into. We're just running through a fucking wilderness, and these two dudes were like, "What's up, guys? Do you have the anvil blueprint?" And I did not, and they just gave it to me, which was very nice of them. Mm-hmm. And we did not kill each other, and it was great. But yeah, so once you get the blueprint, then you can, whatever the item is, you can go and craft it at your workbench. And I like that because
it's a hunt.
It's a hunt, and it's just like every single time that one of those pop. Is very satisfying, especially if you don't have it. You're just like, holy shit, now I can craft this thing. But in reality, you never have the mats to craft it because you're just dying over and over again. And you're just like, cool, I guess I will maybe be able to craft this if I don't play with Nick and Dan for like a couple weeks. And then
it's drastically different. Once you queue into duos and triples, those people are out for blood.
Oh yeah,
and
it's like pretty much shoot on sight right now.
We've encountered some people that are friendly, but not a lot. And most you should probably just start shooting because you're in a lot of danger. And but that's good. That's what we're trying to do. It's what we're trying to get better at. We should. I figured we would talk a lot about this. I bet we talk more about this after the holiday, just to recheck in to see where we're at.
Sure.
See if they've announced they haven't really announced a roadmap past December, so I think that's probably going to happen, hopefully. And it's hard to play other games. It's all I want to play.
Yep.
It's
got its hooks in us for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Kirby and Dispatch and other stuff. Kirby's be great. It wasn't a joke. We're going to do that. That's what's going to happen. All right, we are back. You brought in a scotch over. I haven't been drinking a lot of scotch. It's been on quite a bit of bourbon because I got that Redwood Empire from you. I got a new E.H. Taylor, and I haven't gotten any exciting scotches because of Utah. And this thing's kind of just lovely, like a pretty. I don't know that it's doing anything insane, but it is a nice pour. I wouldn't mind having it. I think it's quite tasty.
It's delicious. So this is
Glenallachie.
Yeah. Nick had to do a little bit of prep for the pronunciation.
I can't ever do this shit. To
be fair, it's really hard.
All the Scottish names I look at and I was just like, is this just humiliate Nick Day? I just got to try to limp through out of say this word.
We're having some Glenmorangie.
Yeah, you're just like, God damn it. And I'm like so bad at it anyway. So
yeah, some of them are really, really hard. Like the bottle that I got for you a number of years ago, that's like the way that like phonetically you would read it is like Glengarioch.
Yep.
And it's pronounced Glengeary.
Yeah. And
it's like Garioch. And it's like, how does that make Geary? What are you doing over there, Scotland? What the fuck's happening? But yeah, no, this is interesting. I've kind of got a history with Glenallachie. They're a pretty interesting distillery in Speyside, which there are at numerous amount of distilleries in Speyside. Sure. Fairly new distillery, like in the grand scheme of things. This is not like 1800s founding, but they have been around for a really, really long time. But what they used to do, they had no forward facing like distillery. I mean, it was always in existence, but they were the number one producer of the blend that went into Johnny Walker.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they, for a long period of time, that's all they did. They didn't make anything on their own. They were just pumping out whiskey for Johnny Walker. And so the master distiller there kind of got fed up, like kind of similar to like Embark being like, we don't want to make Battlefield anymore, so we're going to make the finals and fucking Arc Raiders. Like same thing with them. They were like, we don't want to make, like, we think our shit's pretty good. Yeah. We don't want to make fucking distillate for Johnny Walker anymore. So for like probably the last 15 years, the master distiller there, I can't quite remember his name, they've been releasing booze under this label. And what I originally, they just a rebrand just like very recently. So this is like a new bottle, but they used to have, the only way that I can describe it is 1990s Disney's Hercules font on their bottles.
Great. Perfect.
And like, it actually worked.
Sure.
Like if you grew up in the 90s, you probably know exactly what font I'm talking about. And that was what initially drew me in, because I saw it on the shelf when I was like on my travel somewhere, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never had this before. And I got a bottle of the 15 year, and it was a revelation. I gave you some of it. I was like, I think it's maybe the best Speyside that I've ever had. And it's not a super common bottle. Like I didn't get this in Utah, obviously. Sure. You know, you can find it sometimes in different markets that I've seen. But I was not able to find another bottle of the 15. And so I went with the 12, and I really think it's delightful.
Yeah, it's really good.
I knew that you would like it. $70.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. Huge recommend for that price point. Thing is really good.
It's like it a lot. It's just like a sweet little kiss.
I'm in the market. You know, you bring up Johnny Walker. I'm in the market for some Johnny Walker.
You need some blues?
No, I want a green.
Why?
Because that's the first bottle of scotch I got. Yeah. So when I got married on my honeymoon, that was the first, and I haven't had it since. So I finished that one bottle, and I was just thinking the other day, I was like, I should get a green just to see, because I have no idea how I would feel about it today. Good. So the next time I see a green, I'm going to pick one up, and maybe we can try some Johnny Walker on here.
You can't find it in Utah. We can get like red and black and double black, and that's it. And then blue. You can blue here as well.
And red is that is cocktail scotch.
Yep, 100%. That's a great cocktail scotch as well.
I have one. I got one, and you don't look down on anything I got for a gift for Christmas. I was like, absolutely, I can make highballs with this. And that's exactly what I was.
So doing good.
And then occasionally a cocktail will ask for a splash of like a scotch, and I'll use something like that.
Yeah, like I think Johnny Walker has kind of done a disservice to scotch as a whole, because most people, their first introduction to scotch is Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker is a peated blend, and so very little peat, but it's there, and so like people that don't like peat, they'll try Johnny Walker because it's the most widely produced, scotch in the world. And they're immediately like, I don't like scotch. And it's just like, you have no fucking idea. Like there is just so many different flavor profiles and differences from region to region. And, I always love coming back to a nice little scotch experience, because look, I love bourbon. I love rye. I think it's fantastic, but it is just not as dynamic at flavor profiles. No. A bourbon is a bourbon is a bourbon. You can finish it in different things. It's going to taste a little bit different, but it's just a bourbon. And like you go from one region to the next in Scotland, and it is drastically different.
And I've been buying bourbon for a while now and not buying a lot of scotch. And then I have a scotch, and every time I'm just like, man, it's just better, at least for me. I mean, it's fine for other people to, whatever you want. But every time I have just like an average scotch and like an above average bourbon, or at least like statistically, I'll just be like the scotch. I want the scotch. I just like it better. But
yeah, I am kind of in the same boat as you, strictly for the reason that I just said. It's just so dynamic, and I love it, like kind of curating a collection of different scotch from different parts of the country, and just being like, this is just like not even the same thing.
It's more fun when we don't really do it anymore because I don't have a lot of parties, but like that was always the fun thing. Like you have parties, and then we would be deep into the night, and it's like, well, let's go grab the whiskey, and then I would pull out. It was always just all scotch, and I would be able to show you like drastically different options. And bourbon, that's just not quite the game. It's not as exciting and cool to show someone like, let me just show you this space island, let me show you what Nyla tastes like, and it's the same thing. It's still all scotch. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And what I will say, the more we're kind of in this dram, I think that these guys can hang with any space-eyed.
I would
and
like a bottle. You should let me know if you see one when you're on
definitely. I think that this can hang with any space-eyed, like the best of the best. And for the price point, that's kind of the nice thing with like some of these newer distilleries is they don't have the name, specifically in the case of this, they don't have the same like pull branding wise. And so you get some of these more expensive, more well-known scotch. And it's just like, I don't want to say they're resting on their laurels, but like they're all good for the most part. If you like space-eyeds, which I absolutely do. But this thing, I think, is really fucking good.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for bringing it over. This is good stuff. We've got a few other games. Not quite. It's not going to be as lengthy, probably, as
that's what you think. I got a lot to say.
60 to 70 minutes that we talked about Arc Raiders, which I knew that was coming. And I want to talk about a game called Dispatch that I got turned on to. Some people were rumbling about it. I think it's been releasing episode by episode, but it's now fully out, and there are 8
for a while now.
there are 8 episodes. If you want to know what this is, just generally Walking Dead, Life is Strange. You know, it's one of those where you are making some decisions,
narrative driven, light
absolutely.
gameplay elements.
This is an interesting thing, and I'll say Steam Deck running flawlessly, and the animation is great. This is the setting here is that it's a superhero game, and you are some shit happened to you. You were like not you didn't have any powers, but you had this mecha man suit or whatever, and something broke in it, and then they came and they recruit you, these superheroes, and they're like, you need to come be part of the dispatch, and your job is to dispatch them to places like a police, like when you call 911, like you're essentially that dude that's like, hey, go here, and there's a mini game involved in that, and it's not anything crazy. I certainly wouldn't say this is great gameplay content, but it's entertaining, where they all have their own skills, and then like a thing comes up on the mini map, and it's like, this person needs to be fast, and it's like, all right, well, I only have the slow dude because I just sent the fast dude to a different place, and that's kind of interesting as you choose which one goes.
Are there like significant changes to like the overall story if you send the hero that is not quite suited for the job?
I'm not convinced you can't fail all this and the story just continues. I'm not convinced you can't fail every single mission and the story will just keep going on. I could be wrong. Okay. And maybe there's a lot of different endings regarding how well you do, because it grades you level up, you get different skills, all the characters get like upgrade points and stuff, but I just don't know. I've done 6 of 8 episodes. The only reason I have not finished this game is because of Arc Raiders. I was at 6 episodes a week ago, and I was like, I'm absolutely going to finish it. No way it won't be done before the podcast. And every night, it wasn't good enough to pull me. But with that said, like it is cool. The problem here is that you will absolutely get into the discussion of, is this a video game? Because it's really a movie. And you're watching an enormous amount of cutscenes and story. And I think it's really well done. And the voice acting's all good. And the choices you make are pretty interesting. And it all seems cool. It's like a great anime. There's just not a lot of gameplay here, because that dispatch thing might happen once or max twice in a chapter. And there's 8 chapters. Like, that's so much of it is like the interacting with these characters, because they all go to the bar after, or they're trying to do these things, and then you're like, you have to choose one to fire and things like that, and it's all really good and compelling. It's like kind of the next good step from like what Walking Dead was doing, and it has removed, there is no interacting or walking around the environment, 0. Where Walking Dead had that, I think it was the worst part of the game, where it was like, hey, go do a terrible, shitty puzzle. with this character that sucks to move around the environment. I don't think that was the reason to play those Telltale games.
What's Telltale doing these days? They're done, right? They folded, didn't they?
But then someone bought them, so there will be something that comes out with the Telltale name. Someone owns that name.
Saudi Arabia,
probably. But it's I think people should play it. I have a hard time saying like, oh, this is like one of the best games of the year, just because it's like I think it's one of the best pieces of media. Like, the story seems awesome. The characters are great. There's just a lot of watching.
Yeah, I played like a handful of minutes of it and liked those handful of minutes. And then immediately it was like, this is not like, unless it is like a generational story. Yeah, you gotta really pull me in with the story. Yeah. And what I will say is they brought in like some really cool voice actors for this. I mean, obviously Aaron Paul is the main character. Jesse from Breaking Bad, which I think is one of the greatest television shows of all time. Alana Pierce. She's really good. Moist Critical, who is I think one of the best streamer / commentary figures that we have. I think he's incredible. He plays the Batman, the Bat guy that wears like a suit. Matt Mercer is here. What's the really prolific female voice actor? Emily
plays the Blazer, probably the blonde Blazer or something.
I'm drawing a blank on her name, which is unfortunate because she's really fucking good and has done a lot of stuff. Yeah, just like a really solid cast.
There's
of people here that did voices for this thing, so that's cool. I like that.
These things live in. I mean, if you're gonna make something like this, it lives and dies on the writing and the story. And I have like zero complaints. I think it's really good. I think it's pretty funny, and it's very adult. There's some nudity both ways. There's like a dick in the first episode, so it's cool. I think people should probably check it out if at all you're into any of that shit. Like,
yeah, I'm pro more dicks in video games.
Absolutely. I think the last one I saw was 1880. What was the order? The order 1886.
There's a dick in that game?
Oh, absolutely.
I never played that game. No. That's not the last dick you saw. The last dick that you saw was fucking Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I gave my green man a giant hog.
Cyberpunk probably has one too.
Oh, there's dicks. Yeah. There's lots of dicks in that game. Yeah, I guess maybe this is not as big of a epidemic as we are making it out. Maybe there's plenty of dicks.
There's just more.
Well, yeah, because like it's obviously going to be tilted on like tits and vag over dicks and like.
Oh, vag. I think that I feel like boobs is the most, and then dicks. And then, like, we're not over here just swimming in games with vagina. Like, we're not seeing a lot of vagina.
We should be. We should be. Also, maybe we're playing the wrong games because I'm pretty sure there's like a whole category of like that on Steam. I see it all the time. I'll go to like new and trending, and it's just like 6 porn games like at the top, and it's just like, you guys are gross. You guys are gross.
Ruin my search history trying to find out if vaginas are in a lot of video games.
Jerk off to something normal, you fucking weirdos.
No, my intention is to finish it before the Game of the Year list, because I will say, if I'm making a list of 10, it is not automatically not on the list, because I've had a great time playing it, and the episodes are hour and a half, hour, something like that. It's all pretty quick. I don't know. I think it was $30 or something. So I don't know how people feel about that price tag, but it's all extremely well done. Like the animation, there are really no cut corners as far as the presentation on this thing. And I'm interested. I will absolutely want to know what these guys make next.
Is this the first? I don't know anything about the studio. Is this the first game?
Yeah, I think it really barely made it. I think they had some financial problems.
Well, they certainly showed it off a lot at the Game Awards last year.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's worth a look, especially if anyone like played The Walking Dead and you're like, I love those. Like, then you should absolutely come and play this for sure. Because
I actually surprisingly enjoyed those.
The first one. Yeah, I did not. I fell off.
I think I played The person I was living with at the time was a huge fan of them. I think I definitely finished the first one because there was that like crazy sequence with Bruce or Walter. I don't remember his name, but he gets fucked up at the end.
Yep. Lee.
Lee, yes. Good job. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You would have been like that guy, that one guy.
I don't remember her name though.
Yeah. And then it was just her after that encountering. I think they did some really cool stuff, but I think that also that style of game fit perfectly in that era of gaming. And you really need to bring more to the table or evolve it to really make it compelling in 2025, right?
I think it's going to be if there's enough endings, because the problem with The Walking Dead is that you made a lot of choices and you could get people killed and stuff, but then it all funneled back. Everyone had the same pretty much end thing with Lee. It was pretty damn close. And
Sure.
You make a choice there, but everyone ends up sitting on the ground with infected Lee. You can't avoid it. And the way that you make these things better is that you got to have more branches. You got to have 4 or 5 final endings that you can get to. So then when you and I play through the dispatch, I come back, I'm like, well, this happened. You're like, what the fuck? Like that person died a long time ago.
That's a
totally
bizarre
different.
world
Like,
that doesn't exist.
And
that's not going to happen.
That's where you can find a lot of success. And I do not know if this game does that.
This coming from the 100-line Stan over here.
It's
It's like, there's thousands of endings.
game's so good. Game's great. Yeah, but I don't know. I would definitely recommend it to the right person. Some people are going to bounce and some people are going to walk away being like, this thing's fucking awesome. Like,
Going back to Telltale
awesome.
really quickly, one that I actually enjoyed quite a bit was The Wolf Among Us.
A lot of people did. And a lot of people like the Tales of the Borderlands one too.
Yeah, who I don't want to associate with those people.
Did you play? I didn't play it.
I didn't play it either, but
people
like,
said that's way better than Borderlands. Like the writing in that is way better than anything Borderlands.
It's a pretty
ever did.
low bar, we'll
Sure,
say,
that's fair.
after playing Borderlands for this year, which really, man, I played a lot of. I put 80 hours into that game, and I cannot remember as steep a fall off that I've had with a video game in a really long time.
Womp womp.
That game's bad. It's really bad.
Well, let's talk about something better. Tell me about Kirby.
That game's also maybe bad,
Okay.
but like there is some things to kind of like break down with this. So yeah,
I've never played a Kirby game. Never touched one.
really,
It never. I mean, like it came out when I was in middle school and high school, and I mean, I don't think it's that shocking to be like, that's not for me. Perfect Dark was out at that time. It was like, I'm gonna play fucking Kirby.
sure. Yeah, I played a lot of Kirby
Okay.
because I'm younger than you,
Yeah.
6 years younger than you. So, definitely fell in that. I mean, how can you not? I mean, Kirby is an adorable little creature. Like he's adorable. And, you know, over the years, there have been some banger ass Kirby experiences, dude. Like some of those SNES Kirby games are really, really goddamn good. I used to play a lot of, I don't remember which one it was, but a lot of SNES Kirby at like Latchkey, which was like daycare for poor people at the time.
Okay.
Which was interesting, but
There'll be a last call about that.
at least they had a Super Nintendo at Latchkey, and I played a lot of Kirby there. But yeah, I played some decent Kirby titles.
Okay.
I think that Kirby is like, you'd be surprised. Like there's some good ones out there.
It just comes across as mid tier to me.
Not mid tier at all. I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
When comparing it to the Nintendo's titles, like that's where one.
I think that Kirby fits in like the pantheon. I think Kirby's on Mount Rushmore of like old Nintendo games for sure.
I mean, I know nothing. Obviously, I haven't played one. So
Yeah, you fucking
Oh.
simpleton.
I
Get
will
with the
report
times.
back, I guess.
I don't know. I'm more of a Donkey Kong guy, like because like early Kirby games were like platformers and things
Sure.
like that. And I think Donkey Kong Country
Yep.
is better.
Yep.
But Kirby does some really cool stuff, like specifically with his inhale mechanic, where you inhale enemies and then you gain the ability of whatever enemy that you inhaled. That is a great mechanic, and it still stands the test of time. Like every Kirby game that I have, that I've played recently, that's usually a really good mechanic, and that's
An unlimited amount of options with that type of thing, right?
Yeah, it's really good. But anyways, we're not talking about a platform. We're talking about a fucking kart racer, basically, in Kirby Air Riders, which I don't know the full title of it, but basically, if you don't know anything about Kirby, which you don't, there was a game that came out on the GameCube called Kirby's Air Riders, which a little not very well known developer called Masahiro Sakurai developed. And there is kind of a cult following for it, question mark. Like, people really enjoy the GameCube game.
So he's made nothing but Smash Brothers and then that, basically.
I mean, like, notable games that are, I mean, he's got, like, he's been with Nintendo a long time. So he's like worked on different things.
I guess I'm saying from when he made Smash Brothers. What has he made since then that's not Smash Brothers or Kirby? Is
Nothing.
There anything? Okay, that's what I figured.
Nothing, because Masahiro Sakurai seems like he wants to die at all times. And I feel really bad for him. Okay. And that might be just like more of a critique on Japanese culture and like the crunch that like they just do in any industry, really. But yeah, like I always was really depressed because Masahiro Sakurai would do like these Smash Brother updates and they were like well produced, and he would just show up and he would just be just like his head basically on screen, and he'd be like, "What's up? It's Masahiro Sakurai." And like everything that he was talking about Smash Brothers, and he did it for a really long time with Smash Ultimate and previous games as well. And every single time, like he would just throw in little things in those videos where he'd be like, "I'm working a lot and I just don't know." And you're like, "Are you all right, bro? Like you should like heal up and take some time to yourself." But yeah, he keeps on throwing himself back in there. And yeah, so this new Air Riders game comes out kind of out of nowhere. It didn't really have like a long run up, just like most Nintendo games don't, except for Metroid.
I think it was announced earlier this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess everything for the Switch 2 was announced this year. So there's nothing before.
And yeah, man, it's a weird one. I never played the GameCube game. At least I don't remember ever playing the GameCube game. But I saw enough reviews of people that really loved the original game. And this isn't quite a remake. It's like a true sequel, but there's just so much, there's so many parallels to the original game that a lot of people are basically like, this is just a better looking Air Riders from the GameCube era. But what I will say is there's just so much like crossover between Smash Brothers and Air Riders that it's kind of unbelievable. Not in gameplay or anything like that.
Sure.
But like the announcer, like I'm pretty sure Sakurai was just like, yeah, we just want you to do it. So it's absolutely the same announcer, and just like the flash and the way that all of the menus and like if you've ever played Smash Brothers, especially like modern Smash Brothers games.
I played Ultimate a bit.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
it's good. It's just unbelievable how similar like menus and just how kind of flashy the whole thing is.
That's not crazy though, right? Like if he has this team,
yeah,
and they're like looking to just make this next thing, and they're like, well, like we already kind of got this figured out. Are you all right with this? And he's like, well, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
that's fine. Bring it in.
Right. It in. And that's basically what Sakurai has been doing for a long period of time. Yeah. I think that maybe he's not Miyamoto levels of beloved at Nintendo, but he's up there. Like he's definitely in that pantheon, like Gunpei Yokoi, Miyamoto, Sakurai. Like they are all up there as like some of the best and brightest minds at Nintendo.
Yeah, Smash is an incredible thing. Like just an incredible thing.
Yeah, it really is. And so this thing is very weird though. It's super weird with like
what do you do? Is it a racer?
Yeah. No, I mean that's what you do.
You're a Kirby? Are there more Kirbys?
Yeah, well, yes. You can change Kirby's color to like he just has
blue Kirby?
Yeah, purple, pink. I think that's original Kirby is pink. No, I know that's original Kirby, but you can change colors. But then but then there's also a lot of characters in the Kirby universe that are also here that you unlock as you play the game in different ways. It's a very unique racer where
characters in the Kirby universe.
There's a lot of characters in the Kirby universe. You ever heard of fucking Mennonite?
No, of course not.
DDD, bro.
Maybe. I think I've seen that one.
He's like a fat penguin
Yeah.
that kind of looks like the penguin or duck from Don
I think
Quixote.
that one's in Smash. Is he in Smash?
DDD is in Smash, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, he's good in Smash too. Yeah. But yeah, there's lots of characters. Meta Knight's in Smash as well, for that matter. He's a fucking son of a bitch in Smash.
Is this thing fun?
Yeah.
You've been circling the wagons for a while. You're just like, what?
Well, so this is the big thing that I have an issue with, right? So oftentimes, like when you play a racing game, you have like a gas and a brake, right?
Yep.
That's pretty standard.
Not if you're riding air.
Yeah. There's no gas.
There's a float and like a dive.
Yeah, there is that, but you have like automatic gas.
Okay.
So you don't hold any buttons. So the game just goes.
It's
and like
floater.
Kinda. and then like there is like drifting in this game, but not good drifting like there is in Mario Kart. You hold B button around corners and like tilt the stick to the right or left depending on the corner, and you like kind of like drift. But you got to be very precise with it because there are also mechanics that are kind of mapped to like turning. So if you flick the stick back left and right, you do this like spin motion, which is for like damaging other racers around you. And so it gets kind of tricky from that perspective, but like you don't, it just goes like the thing just goes, and you just kind of like control your racer, but
don't hit things.
Yeah. And then there's like power-ups and things like that you would see like kind of like in Mario Kart, but they don't function anything like Mario Kart, where it's kind of like just this, you pick up a power-up and then you just have that power-up, and whatever thing you pick up just kind of does what it's going to do. Like you don't get to choose when to use it. So you pick it up and it just goes, right? And there's a lot of different power-ups, but it's fucking like I played probably like 10 hours of this game, and the whole time I'm being like, what is this? Why does this work the way that it does? And like, I have read some people talking about it, and they're like, you gotta change your thought process, your synapses in your brain to like understand Air Riders, bro. And there are definitely people out there that are in that camp.
I mean, you don't.
I'm just saying, like, that's the discourse around this game is like, some people are like, you just gotta accept the air riders. You gotta believe. You gotta fucking buy into air riding. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy into air riding because it just seems weird and not. There's something inherently about not being able to control my speed with like, I want to hold the button to go in a racing game. And that's not a fucking thing. It just goes on its own. So it's weird. What I will say is there's a lot of modes in this game, and some of them that are really kind of drastically different than one another, which I really like. And there's a lot of variety in this game. So it's not just like behind the back perspective racing. There is like a top down mode where you can see above your racers, and it's a drastically different experience from like the standard racing. There's obviously like a battle mode in this game, and there's also like a lot of single player modes to like unlock things. It does the old school thing, which I really appreciate. Bring back more of this in video games, where it's like you got to play the game to unlock racers and carts, and I mean, it's basically an air ride. I don't know what you call it.
Mario Kart does, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that that's not commonplace anymore, and I want it to be more commonplace, where it's like you just got to play the game and you unlock more stuff as you go, right?
That's what Sakurai does. That's what Smash did.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
yep.
Right.
So like, it's interesting. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to think about this. I don't know what this is, and like maybe I needed to play the original Air Riders to really understand it. But every single time I play it, I'm just like, I'm confused.
It's pretty funny.
Like, I don't know how I should take this, and like it's very fast paced. Like you're hauling ass, and it runs extremely well on the Switch. It's a very good looking game. It's very pretty. A lot of. And like the tracks are not standard tracks. Like a lot of crazy shit happens.
Okay.
But like you
feels...
have control over your cart, but like it's just auto racing basically.
This just feels like he did Ultimate. He absolutely was not going to do Smash again right away. And
no, I think he would jump
like,
in front of a train in Shibuya before he would do another Smash.
And he was like, "No, I want to go do something else." So he did this. What I mean, I don't know how you make another Smash because that last one like seemed like.
We're gonna find.
Smash, but,
well, it's called Ultimate Smash Ultimate.
That's why it's a problem.
We're gonna find out though, because you think that Nintendo is not gonna push for another Smash. Absolutely. In the Switch 2's life cycle, we will get another Smash for sure.
No, they hopefully. It just feels like you need to reimagine something because that last one was just so good.
You can't. Not the mechanics. You can't reimagine the mechanics. If you reimagine the mechanics in Smash,
it's a problem.
It's a huge. People will fucking revolt. They'll go to Kyoto and burn the building down. But yes, I agree in principle. Like there needs.
It's just like that last one was just like that's like
there's so many characters.
That one was just like there's a reason they called it Smash Ultimate. It was
fucking
like,
Cloud Strife and Sephiroth are in that game, and Ken and Ryu and Terry Bogard and Kazuya. It's fucking insane.
Spawn showed up. It was amazing.
Spawn did not show up.
What was Spawn in? Was he in?
He was in Soul Calibur. Yeah, he was in the Xbox version of Soul Calibur 2.
Spawn because they couldn't figure out how to get Master Chief.
You got Link. You got Heihachi Mishima, which is crazy because Heihachi doesn't use weapons. He just uses his hands.
It's so funny that they got Spawn and not fucking like the Master Chief. Like figure it out. But
and then Todd McFarlane made Necrid for all versions of the game as well, which was funny at the time.
You know what I want? If we're talking about these like
more Spawn games?
No.
Okay.
I want a high level. We're not talking Mario Tennis level, Mario Golf level. Yeah, it's gonna be higher. I need him to bring Pilot Wings back.
God damn.
But it's got to be a good one, right? I want a good.
Has there ever been a good one? Well, serious question.
At the time, yeah, they were.
I don't think they were ever good. I played both of them. I played the SNES.
I had a lot of fun. I don't know.
I think Pilot Wings 64 was close to launch. It might not have been a launch title, but it was close to the release of the N64. That game is dog shit, Nick. It's fucking horrible. It's like, I got the jetpack. We're doing the jetpack shit. And you had to land in a fucking like little circle on the ground. That shit sucked.
I want a good one. I want another one. I want him to go back to the well, and I want a Pilot Wings for the Switch too. I think it would be a good time. I think we could have a lot of fun with it.
If we're talking about the stable of Nintendo games that don't see regular iterations,
Pilot Wings is there. It's ready.
But is Pilot Wings the one?
Probably.
No, not even fucking close, Nick.
Why not?
I don't know. Have you ever heard of a game called Earthbound before? I don't know. That one's been kind of dormant. Seems like a no-brainer from Nintendo there. What else would I would literally pick any IP that Nintendo has ever.
Pilot Wings? Wait. I would. I liked Wave Race, but I think I would rather a Pilot Wings.
Are you fucking serious?
And I loved Wave Race.
Well, yeah. So the last one was on the GameCube, and that was not. I mean, it was still decent.
I just played the original.
The original was fantastic.
An enormous amount. I knew all the shortcuts. I knew how all the waves hit, and how the waves changed on every level because you could only get over a certain shortcut on like the second lap. I knew all that shit, and I was really fucking good at that game, and it was a good time.
Yeah, not. I agree with that, but not. We are not. No. Pilot Wings, no.
No, why? It could be good.
How? How could it be good?
I don't know, like the idea of like the skydiving shit and the random weird planes that you got to figure out how to land and
that's the game. Like, figure out how to land this thing in a circle. That's the whole series. It's just like you're in the air and you got to land in a circle. I got a
lot of nostalgia with that shit. I want to go back to it. Bring it back. I'll buy it.
Punch Out.
But they ruined Punch Out. Like
no, they didn't. The Wii version of Punch Out is good. That shit's good. I hate motion controls, but that's one game that it actually worked for. That was a good game, but I'd like to see like an iteration on Punch Out.
I want him to get Mike back.
No, you don't.
Yeah, bring him back.
Mike Tyson lost a boxing match to Jake Paul. Because Mike Tyson is like in his 50s. No, absolutely not. I won't stand for that. How about Excite Bike? I think the last Excite Bike was on the N64.
What is the view of a new Excite Bike?
Well, the last one was like behind the back perspective.
Okay, is that what you want?
No.
You want side.
I want side.
You want a good side.
Yeah, I want a good side. Yeah, like kind of like Trials. You remember Trials? Yeah. Trials is dope.
Trials is a lot of fun until it got into the like inching an inch forward and then blowing yourself up and doing like 9 backflips. And it was no longer, you were just bunny hopping the whole way.
Yeah. Trials is like a predecessor to like Getting Over It with Ben Foddy in like a lot of ways.
I played a lot of Trials. It was a pretty fun game.
What else? Sin and Punishment. Oh my God. Right. The Wii version of that game, fantastic. And even the N64 version, if you go and emulate it, those are both really good. Why did the first one never make it to the Western market? I will never know, because the entire first game is all in English. And they just put Japanese subtitles at the bottom. But all of the VO in that game, it's all in English. So why did that not come to the West?
What about a sequel to Mario 2?
Well,
just a sequel. You got to do the same thing. You got the 5 characters you get to play.
Like Doki Doki Panic.
No, like Super Mario Brothers 2. Like
which was Doki Doki Panic.
What is that? What it's called in Japan?
Yes. Well,
because it wasn't a Mario game, and then they
were like, these dumb whiteys can't figure this shit out. Right. Let's take this easier game.
Make sequel to that. Like Luigi jumps really high, Princess floats.
They've done that. There's like plenty. Like a new Super Mario Wii U and shit like that. Like there's multiple different characters.
Not a digging level where you're like, I wish Toad was here.
It just sounds like you want a Doki Doki Panic fucking revitalization.
No, I want Pilot Wings. Bring that back.
Dude. Oh my God. I'm trying to think of other Nintendo franchises that I think deserve some sort of revitalization. I don't know. We named a few. Maybe
we'll have to think about it. Circle back.
Let us know which Nintendo game that has been dormant for a long period of time that you'd like to see come back.
Like Harvest Moon or something, right? Is Harvest Moon still made?
Harvest Moon's never been Nintendo. Oh. Nintendo is Natsume. Serious fun, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're still making those motherfuckers.
Fantastic. Well, hey, that is Gamescast 163. That is going to do it. Thank you for listening. If you should probably come join the Discord. You can play Arc Raiders with us. We're having a good time.
We're not good.
No, but we're
trying our best.
We're doing our best, and you should find a link to the Discord in the show notes, or if you're on YouTube, you can go to the bio and you can find it there. That's going to do it. Take it easy, guys.